Hi, my name's Shaitan, and I'm a GBDA creator. I consider myself just like a digital everything. Everything digital I've touched, from logo designs to like just multimedia to I used to do a lot of video. Any project I do, I take the role of the digital visionaire. Like, what are the users going to take away? What are the customers going to take away? What's the audience going to take away? I started off using computers, and I think all of us did since we were young. I've always seen what like digital products do, like what other companies do. I get a lot of strategy because I'm consuming what these people are doing. So I think that's where my vision comes out of, is I know what the playing field looks like because I've been in it for so long. So now I can just mix and match. What I do, and I think this is something I'm going through now, is starting to just pay close attention to what the problem is. Think about the problem and try to solve it in other avenues that are not necessarily just making some absolution. What's the difference between working at somewhere like TELUS and being a student at GBDA? Well, first of all, you get paid. So biggest shift right there. The money was really nice. But I would say one of the biggest differences are outputting, and it feels really nice to actually do things, and instead of just always like, you know, taking it in or doing a project. It feels nice to do things and it be real, and you get real data back, you get a real like user, or you get a real like audience. Something that stood out to me at TELUS was that there's no such thing as making it in life. And it's a personal anecdote, but like at TELUS, I met a lot of people who stumble into the digital industry, who learned on the job, who are always constantly learning new things. My hobby is the internet. Like, I'm an internet junkie. I'm always on it, watching stuff, reading stuff. It's bad. I need to step away. It's not good. I saw this tweet one day, and there's millions of people on the internet that have helped shape who you are today, and it's kind of weird to think about it. But like, someone's posted a comment that's changed your opinion on something, and like, it'd be kind of selfish of me not to share anything. I've always been into art and visual art. Since I was a kid, I was always drawing. I used to beg my mom to get me more drawing books and tracing books and coloring books. And I had a huge set of markers as a kid. And I was just like, no one touches this. And like, so I always try to have at least one side visual art thing going that I'm learning. And for the last year, it's been hand lettering. Got a bunch of markers, like special markers, just to, you know, practice and draw different types of hand letters and etc. So that's fun for me. One of my other side hobbies is podcasting. I'm pretty talkative. I have a lot to say. I don't do it nearly as much as I would love to, but so I started this podcast just about a year and a half ago called OK Let's Talk. It's like a play on my last name. The reason I started the podcast was like, oh my God, I have all these great conversations with so many people. I just wish if I can capture like 10% of it, I would love for the world to hear it. I wanted a project where I would just go. And so I just got a mic and I invited two people, and I was like, podcast. And I created the name on the first show. The second show, I created the format. The third show, I got my flow. So I was just recording and like getting the purpose of the podcast as I made it. And I think it's a really good project. I still continue it when I can. When I was in grade 12 and I was doing posters and for events at school, I was on the student council. So I would always try to figure out some way I can bring digital into it. Like, I remember setting up a photo booth, which is not something we did at the time, but I was like, I set it up, I made it so that they can take pictures and automatically go to the computer and they would email it to them. And like, that was big. Not even too much, that was amazing. It was amazing. Me loving technology and stuff, I was like, how can I do something different? And that sort of made me want to go into GBDA because like, I love multimedia, I love the digital world. I just want it to be involved in whatever I did in the future. When I went to Singapore for my study abroad, I did it because I wanted to sort of, you know, get out of the bubble, see another place, you know, travel a little bit, but mostly to like learn from somewhere else. And it was really fun, and I met a lot of really, really cool people. I also took a lot of courses at their art school, which was really important to me because I think when I was coming to university, I was also sort of pulled to the art school direction. So part of me wanted to see what I was missing by taking course at the art school. I met a lot of people, we would chat, we would create things together, and that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot from people. I would ask, how do you do this? How did you do that? Why did you do that? And like, just to like get behind their process. It's good to see what they're doing and like get really cool ideas. And that was really exciting for me. I'm obsessed with people clapping for me. That's it. So that's why I want to do more things. But I also just like challenging myself, which I think was what I loved about sort of this whole digital world and stuff, is that there was always something to learn on the internet, tutorials about something that I wouldn't learn in school, so I can look it up and then learn how to do that. Suddenly I had a new skill. So, and there was bigger challenges. I'll see something like, when I was still in videography and filmmaking, I'd see something Freddie W did. That inspired me a lot. When I was in filmmaking, I would try to do what Freddie W did. So I'd learn After Effects. I'd be like, how do you mask this person out? How do you mask an object out? How do you green screen? And I did it because Freddie W did it and he looked cool, right? So I kept seeing cool things on the internet to do, and sort of that moves as my interests change from video to like now programming. And I think our class in processing really challenged me, because I would see things and I'm like, I want to create that. And that's how I actually really enjoyed programming. It forces me to go on the internet. Oh, this is something cool someone's doing. How do I do that? One of my favorite projects from university has been, so I was on this club, I'm still on this club, Fashion for Change. And I started out on the club as a videographer. Actually, it was they just needed someone for a day, and I sort of like got it. And I stayed because the people were wonderful. And I had this assignment to create these scene videos. So between each scene in their show, they wanted to show a video that related to the theme was Fashion for Change Music Awards. So they wanted to be MTV style, like something. And I hadn't really done motion graphics before, like probably once. And I wanted it to look legit. I wanted it to feel like an actual music show. So I went all out. I created these really nice, I think they're beautiful, short, like 20 to 30 second, sometimes a minute motion graphic pieces of just like text flying in, like really cool patterns. And when I showed it to the director at the time, she was like, "What? You did this?" Because it felt so professional. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like it looked professional. As much as like the motion graphic thing is my favorite project, I don't really consider it as like my end all be all project. My favorite project is yet to come. And if I hold on to it too tight, I think I'll be sort of disillusioned or trying to create the same thing over and over again when the world awaits me to create something else. If you want to keep up with my digital journey, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThisIsOki. And if you want to listen to my podcast, at Shaitan Oki on SoundCloud. And also, while we're here, you should sign up for Fashion for Change marketing team. We really need you. Thanks for listening to me. Cheers.